three of life's greatest mysteries are: how were the pyramids in Egypt designed and constructed? Has life from other planets visited Earth? And 3, is there an easy way to get your 35mm film loaded onto the developing spool? Well, I can't help with number 1 and 2, but I can definitely help with this. Yes, there is an easy way to get your exposed film onto this spool. So let's take a look at the way most students are taught how to develop your film. So the first thing you do is you grab a can opener, you pry open the canister, and this is all done in total darkness. So you're in the darkness, you pry this open, and you pull out your film, and it's kind of dangling all over the place. Now, again, in total darkness, you've got to find your spool. Don't worry, this is training film. It's not, so I haven't exposed something. So in the darkness, you want to find your spool, and then again in total darkness, you've got to figure out, okay, where does the film go in? There's a couple notches, and 9 times out of 10, you start putting it in from the wrong way. But let's say you do find the right way, and then you got to fiddle with it and get that film into the tracks and push it in past the little ball bearings so you can roll the film onto your spool. And all this is done in total darkness. And if this is your first time, lots of luck with that. So yes, there is a simple way. Now the first thing we need to do though is we don't want our film canister like this. We want the leader sticking out like this. So there's a couple ways to do that. One is when you're shooting your film and you get to that very last, and it just won't go any further. You've reached your last exposure, and you go to rewind your film. So you rewind, and except when you rewind, listen, and you also feel it suddenly get tense as you get towards the end, and then you'll hear a little click, just as that film comes off the take-up spool. But don't go any further. And then, when you open your back, the leader is sticking out. So that's the easiest way to do it. If you forget to do that, and you end up with the leader still inside, there's a couple methods you can use to retrieve the leader. And I'll explain why it's important to have the leader out in just a moment. So let's hop over to the bench here, and I'll show you how to get the leader out of your cartridge. Okay, so let's say we have left our film, let our film roll all the way inside. Now we need to get that out. So the first method, you're going to need some double-sided tape, and you're going to need a little bit of film strip. Could be an old leader from a film that you've already developed. We're going to take just a little bit of the double-sided tape, and we're going to apply that onto the surface of the film, like that. Then we're going to slide the double-sided tape, the film with the double-sided tape, inside the film canister, and we're going to roll the film until we feel it grab, and it just starts to pull the film in a bit. Okay, so once we do that, we give the film a real quick yank, and out comes the leader. Now this, I made that look easy. I was lucky it happened the first time, but normally it doesn't. Sometimes doing this method, you might have to try several attempts to try and get it out. So there is still an easier way. So let's get our film inside. And now I'm going to use a leader retriever. And these are readily available. As a matter of fact, I'll put a link down below for this one, the Martin Leader Retriever. It's available on Amazon. Many photo camera stores sell it. So using this device, the blades of the Leader Retriever slide in through the felt into the body of the film canister. And then we take, there's two sliders here, first and second one. We're going to take the first slider, slide that all the way down to the end. And now we're going to wind the film, and we're going to listen very carefully till we hear a click. Right there. Then we slide in the second, and we pull, and there's your leader. And that method works pretty much first time, every time once you get used to it. It's pretty easy to use. So that's the Leader Retriever. Okay. So now we have the film with the leader out. We're going to take a pair of scissors, and we're just going to trim off that leader, leaving us with a nice square edge. And make sure that you don't have loose edges on the sprockets. Cut them between the sprockets so it's solid all the way along. Okay, so we've got our film trimmed off. Now we need to put the film onto the spool. And this is where you think, okay, well now we got to go into the darkroom. Well, no, we don't. That's the beauty of this method. We can do this part in daylight. So we take our film spool. You're going to pull out just a little bit. Just enough in daylight to slide your film under those tabs, pull them in past the two little ball bearings, and you're done. Now, at this point, the film cartridge is in place. The film is started on the spool. Now we can go lights out. So we're going to simulate we're in the darkroom here. So I go lights out, or I take this into a changing bag. And now in total darkness, I can wind my film. What I like to do is just hold the film canister, just hold it back with a couple of fingers, or you can pull it down and rewind till the film canister catches up, and just keep doing that in total darkness. And this part's easy because the film was already started. And with the film in the cartridge, it's not getting all tangled on you. And you just keep winding until all the film is on the spool. Once you reach the end of the spool, we take a pair of scissors and snip. Off it goes. Now you grab your tank. Goes your film. The light trap goes in. And now you can turn the room lights on. Your film is loaded. So I hope that helps. So the mystery is start your film in daylight, and then once it's loaded onto the reel, finish the rest in darkness. So I hope you found this useful. I appreciate if you'd like and subscribe for more content. And any comments, I love reading them. I love hearing comments or questions. So thanks for watching.